here is tomorrow. Volker will be behind closed doors talking to the intelligence community. We will get back to. We'll see what comes out of that. Probably nothing in the short term, anyways. Here is Fox and Friends, and despite the fact that the latest polls show, for the first time, impeachment now has not only has gone up precipitously in the polls, but and has reached a new high, is now a majority of people. And it's quite clear, too, from the polling that it was the Democrats coming out for impeachment that really that made the big difference. And it's fairly obvious when you think about it, right? Like, this is something I learned in the context of directing. The reaction shot will define how the audience perceives what has just taken place. You can have someone say the exact same words, and if the reaction shot is one where someone's just completely unfazed, then this is not going to land with anybody.
That's such a postmodern way of thinking about politics.
Well, but it's true.
But it's also Field of Dreams.
It's
Build
true.
it, they will come.
But that's the case. But it's basically when the Democrats came out and said this rises to the level of impeachment. Impeachment, everybody knows impeachment's a big deal. It signals like, hey, there's a real problem here. And it's the reaction shot. And the Democrats gave a reaction that was commensurate with what's going on, and the audience responded. And that's basically what's happening. There's a large, significant portion of the population that has been paying no attention to any of this. I meet people all the time. Who tell me they have checked out. I'm not paying attention to the primary until there's 2 or 3 candidates. I'm not, I'm just waiting to vote against Trump. I just can't stand it anymore. It's not good for my mental health. All this. And this is what impeachment has done. But Ainsley Earhardt, she seems confused because she's looking at the polling now. And there was a Morning Consult poll that came out, I think, today that shows impeachment up now at around 46, 47%. 43% saying shouldn't, and the 11% don't know. And it's been on that trajectory for the past 2 or 3 weeks. Here's Ainsley Earhardt.
As we're about to discover and go over some of the sensationalistic headlines from yesterday, there's almost no there there. There's a big headline that'll get your attention. Then you look at the story, it's easily explained.
I think it gets too much in the weeds. I think first they're going after the president with impeachment. Then they're going after Rudy Giuliani. Now it's Bill Barr. And America's saying, what? How are they all connected? Connect the dots for us. What are you talking about? It's just so much information. And I don't think that the country, if you look at the polls, the recent Quinnipiac poll says 47% of regular voters do want impeachment, 47% don't. Our country is totally divided, split right down the middle.
But they are gaining some momentum on the impeachment.
Yes,
there's been a 20-point net change in the
since
opinion
before the release of the conversation
regarding impeachment. What they're trying to do is they're trying to create the narrative, the Democrats are, that this is a lawless president. That's what they want people to think. Of course, when it goes to the Senate, I don't know that many people who think that he would actually be convicted.
I love the fact that Ainsley Earhardt is basically complaining that things are getting too complicated for her.
If anything,
I'm having to read like how is possible is Rudy Giuliani and Bill Barr in any way connected to the president?
Don't worry, I'll explain it to you. I'm a country lawyer, sweetheart. Anyways, there's this Jew named George Soros.
Exactly.
And he don't want your friend to have pizza pie shops because he's a communist.
What do you think about that? Do you even care?
if anything, I like this phase of impeachment stuff better because I can follow it.
It's pretty.
Yeah, this
it's
is a
pretty
lot
straightforward.
clearer than the
Like the Russia stuff. Oh my God,
But-
my eyes would glaze over anytime anyone talked about it.
This is what is really shocking to me. Well, not shocking, but this tells you all you need to know about our media environment today. This was a poll that was released yesterday. New poll shows that only 4 in 10 Republicans believe Donald Trump talked to the Ukrainian president about investigating political rival Joe Biden, even though Trump has acknowledged doing so. Now, 61% of independents know that he talked to it. 85% of Democrats. So there's a certain percentage of people who are just not paying attention. But only 40% of Republicans are even aware of and accept the reality of something that Trump himself has acknowledged.
That's actually pretty high, I would say.
It does seem a little bit high. I would say probably the rest of them don't think it's any big deal at all.
Well, they probably think he's right to bring up Biden.
Right. Well, of course. Of course he has to.
He doesn't. It's the swamp.
Folks, before we